Consider this your trigger warning. The following program is strictly satire and is not meant to be taken seriously. So don't get all butthurt, you liberal snowflakes, just because we skewer your sacred cows and expose all your lies and hypocrisy. Truth hurts, and so does satire. So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and enjoy the show.
Well, hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is the Free for All Friday. And we had such a good talk, I guess it was last week with, Uman and Vaughn and Kaz. We got the R Syndicate together. I was thinking, having guests on is actually kind of fun, and I know that today's guest has been talking with Uman for quite some time and expressed some interest on coming on the show and straightening my dumb ass out on things I don't really know what I'm talking about. So we've got him here. He's going to be coming in. But before I introduce him, I'm going to talk about just a couple topics, and it is the Free for All Friday, so we're going to entertain your topics as well. I'll answer, he'll answer, we'll both answer. It should be fun. I'd like to start doing this more often. I know I've had guests on for years, but something I can get back into, mix it up a little bit. So the things I want to talk about right out the gate on this Free for All Friday, it is now time. The grieving silent scum in the Democrat Party, that's over. It's over, folks. The silent Democrats, it's done. It is now time for them to get back to their violent fucking rhetoric, which for you and me means, right, you're already got food, water, shelter, all the good stuff, right? And this, of course, but you need to be mentally prepared for where these fuck sticks are going, because they're gonna go there. And we've seen way too much already to know that they're not harmless. Okay, so to start off, I want to say, I think it's down here in Florida, Palm Beach. If that sounds pretty Florida-ish. Palm Beach County School Board, one of the jackass members there said Charlie Kirk is a, quote, racist bigot while he was having a verbal tantrum, diarrhea flying out his mouth at a board meeting. He started it again. It's just like, you're just going to come right out there, So this thing about, hey, being nice and quiet, and we shouldn't say things about, shouldn't encourage violence or promote it or celebrate it. They're back. Fuck it. The nice guy bullshit that they were pretending to do for a few days, it's over. It's over. So on top of that, I've got a couple more little short examples, and then we're going to get into it with the guest and have some fun. Keith Olbermann. Does anyone remember that fucking meathead? Right? He's back. If you're, he's a dropout. He's a loser. He couldn't handle it. Kind of like Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel had I think he would get 160,000 views on his show, his television show, where he's got promotions and fucking commercials and networks and sponsors. Back years ago, before the censorship, I used to get, I think, 100,000. It was anywhere from 70 to 130. I think the most was 165,000 a day. And I'm nobody. Anyways, that dumb son of a bitch should have been swept away anyways. So Keith Olbermann lights into one of his rants and says Charlie Kirk is, quote, burning in hell. I didn't know he was such a religious scholar. But that serves as more evidence that these commie-crats are not sorry. And they want to show that they don't give a fuck about life, patriotic Americans, and they want us to know they hate freedom. They're gonna get louder. It is over, right? The bloom is off the peace rose, if you will, with these people. They don't care. They're done. And as my number 3 story, as far as Democrats shutting the fuck up with the violent stuff, doubt me not. The communist Democrat revolutionary fuckhead has been arrested. Who am I talking about here? Oh, yeah. The guy that was plotting the murder of the Republican New Hampshire governor, Kelly Ayotte. He's going to use pipe bombs, right? There is no sorry. There's no self-reflection with these people. There's no remorse. It's just murder, death, kill. That's it, right? They got that. They want their 182, and that's about it. Anyways, that's my start off. I chewed up 5 minutes. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. Anyways, today's special guest star is Steve from Course Air Trainers. He is here, and I want to welcome him. And Steve, welcome to the show. Great to finally meet you. And we had a couple of words before the show, but thank you for coming on.
No, I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, good there. And there's the link. If anyone figures out how to either type or something. Did you select that long ass link, Steve?
No.
All right. Anyways, Steve, you've been a participant in the comments section for quite some time, and I really want to thank you for that, bringing some real world experience. We have lots of that here, but you're another great voice. Some people, they can't come on, they can't show their face. I'm glad you can. Is it that you're retired, and what is it you did professionally?
Okay, I'm really bad about talking about myself. Let's see, where do I start? Let's see, I was in the Marine Corps. So
what? Jesus Christ, man! You didn't say a fucking word. I see the jarheads behind you on the poster. Semper Fi, brother. What base were you on?
So I was security forces on Guam for a little bit, and then I came back stateside, and I was a Alpha Company Raider with 1-4. And then I went to division schools where I was a PMI at the Marksmanship Training Unit, and then went back to Alpha 1-4, and didn't know it at the time, but the ex-wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, said, me and the kids were the Corps. And it was like 93. There wasn't nothing going on. So I was like, all right, I'm staying with the kids, I guess. And then we ended up getting divorced shortly after that. Well, after that, before I got out of the Corps, a friend of mine said, hey, you want a job? I said, yeah, I want a job. So I went from the Marine Corps. 2 weeks later, I was the youngest human being working at the United States Penitentiary in Lompoc, California.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that was great. So for a while, everybody called me youngster. Everybody, good guys, bad guys, everybody, because I was the youngest human being there. So,
are you the youngest ever?
No, people after me showed up that were the same age, but I was 21 when I walked in, and then we had people later that were like 20 that showed up. So when they were trying to hire more people.
Okay.
So I spent 5 years there as working as just a straight officer. Mm-hmm. And then I went into the Special Investigative Section, SIS. We were the second generation, I guess, of the dudes keeping track of all the gangs. And my little forte or whatever was keeping track of white prison gangs and anti-government types, which was a little different back then because we were also keeping track of like the Muslims and stuff like that. So my thing was white prison gangs, anti-government gangs. Then went from that, I transferred down south to Long Beach and became a lieutenant and retired as a lieutenant, I don't know, 10 years later.
Nice. Good deal, man. Well, thank you for all you did to keep these scumbags at bay.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, that's important. I mean, if you've done something very few people have. You've seen criminals on the other side where you get to be around them, get to know them personally. You know their fucking history from their records.
Yeah.
And then you got to deal with their dumb shit every day. You're straight. You're a civilian. You're a good guy. And they're just absolute fucking scum. And they're all around you. How do you deal with that?
It's an adjustment. So we say it's the other world, right? So there's the outside world and the inside world. Mm-hmm. But when I say this, you have to keep in mind that, and this is some of the best advice I ever got from an old timer. Prison's a microcosm of the society that it's in.
Yes.
So everything that's in the outside world is just pushed together, condensed, and just forced in on each other inside prison, right?
So it's like under a magnifying glass, huh?
Yeah. So, and everything's ramped up. If somebody's a thief, they're more of a thief. You know what I mean? And then especially with the guys that I was dealing with when I first started, these were the for real bad guys, like the cat burglar dudes that, you know, they climb on rooftops and they rappel down in and steal the Mona Lisa and climb back out. You know?
Wait, you're saying those are real people?
Yeah, there are some real people like that.
That's cool as fuck. Are they fun to talk to, those guys?
Yeah, they can be.
Okay.
Without getting into too much detail, the first guy that I ever learned like who he was, that's what he did. He was a for real cat burglar dude that he had done some stuff here, but he'd also got away with a bunch of stuff in Europe. And
wow. He was international.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff he did for reals, you know.
Nice. Did he leave a little glove with the Pink Panther symbol on it or anything cute?
No, I don't think he wanted to leave anything behind, but so yeah,
what an experience. Interesting.
I've dealt with the most wonderful people in the world. This is all sarcasm.
Yes.
On every level, I've dealt with all of them at one point or another.
All right, that's interesting, man. I haven't shared too much about my Marine Corps actual duties that I've done. So I was in, of course, I was in LA, fucking Hollywood Marine, right? So I spent, well, there it is. Yeah, and here in Florida, there's fucking jarheads all over Florida, man. It's like they crawl out from under rocks. I go, that's an alligator. It takes the alligator head off. It's a Marine. They're everywhere. Anyways, they're all, a lot of Paris Island ones here, and they just call me Hollywood. It's like, fucking, hey, sure. Anyways, I went there, of course, Pendleton, Camp Del Mar. Did you spend any time there?
At where?
Camp Del Mar on Pendleton. It's across I-5. Right.
Yeah, I know where it's at. Yeah.
Okay. This guy.
We went to Del Mar was to go to the boat basin when we were getting the Zodiacs and the whalers out and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
That's just going to the boat basin. I spent time at the medical facility there when I got burned up, but that's a different story. But other than hanging out there partying, which I know is where you're going with it, no, we got to go by on the Zodiacs and wave at the other jarheads that were there with the young ladies enjoying their time.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I love being on Del Mar, man. It was interesting though. There was that's where the corpsmen were training.
Yeah,
and boy, did we throw shit at those fucking guys. We were all boots too, doing training there, and then the corpsmen. For those who don't know, a corpsman is a medic, but they're Navy personnel. Marine Corps doesn't have its own medics. We have corpsmen. So, they're running around with their fucking Cracker Jack suits and stupid hats on and their fucking bell-bottom denim pants. We're making fun of them. But once you get out in the fleet, you're like, those motherfuckers will save your life,
Yes,
and I've met corpsmen everywhere, and I love them. Anytime I see one, I give them a hug and like, get off me. But also Force Recon was there,
Yeah.
And those are some bad motherfuckers. God damn, I love them. I used to drink with them all the time at the E Club. And then the only mission I ever went on with them that I can talk about is when they took me down to Tijuana.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, back then Tijuana was off limits.
Really?
Yeah.
89, we were allowed to go.
Yeah, no. And in what, 91, 92, all that? No, it was supposedly off limits. Even when I was in infantry school in 90, it was off limits.
No, School of Infantry, they wouldn't let you do much of shit. But after that, you guys, when you were in the fleet, when you were done with all that shit, you couldn't go?
They said, well, I went over to Guam first, but when I came back and I checked in, they said, yeah, don't go to TJ. It's off limits for us. So, like, all right. It might have just been my company or something.
Well, the cross-dressing prostitutes were starting to cause problems down there, even in 89. Too many jarheads ending up in bed with Dick. Don't work too good. A lot of guys getting fucked up. But yeah, they get on the train, take the train down all the way, and I thought that was crazy. Fuck that. But so I let Recon drag me down there, and we had some fun. They were crazy. Those fucking dudes were crazy. Anyways, I love them. Robin G says those Cracker Jacks were cool. Ex-Navy wave here. Psh, there it is. Love it. Yeah. So I was there, and then I went to Cherry Point, North Carolina, and of course did some stuff down in Lejeune and had some other fun. But God bless you, man. I love it.
All my time was West Coast or out on Westpac.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think I'd ever come live on the East Coast because it was so fucking miserable. in North Carolina.
Yeah.
You know, my only fun was going and playing when I was on the Marine Corps rugby team. Also, we played the Army, and they just fucking mauled me to death. It was great. And there was a guy who was about as big as Fezzik the Giant, Andre the Giant, playing for the Army team, and he was my opposite, and he just beat the fuck out of me. And then we all went and got drunk. It was great.
There you go.
All right, enough reminiscing, man. Let's move on. What's the favorite topic on your channel you like to watch, Steve? Or not watch, but talk about. What topics do you cover? Where's your forte, man?
A couple things that I like to cover. Being awareness of everything, right? Situational awareness. That's pretty much what I started my channel on. Was, hey, you people need to wake up and see what's going on.
Right. Okay. Sure. The wake up call. Yeah.
Self-defense stuff. I focus on reality, man. Because a lot of dudes who get on YouTube or whatever social media stuff, and they honestly start to say a lot of BS. I'll give you an example. I got on YouTube over 7 years ago, and I said I don't have a bug out bag. I have a get home bag. Because part of what I did.
Start that, Steve? Did you start that get back bag or bug?
I didn't start it. I got it from somebody else because I've been doing emergency preparedness for 20 plus years for the government. I used to run the entire joint for the emergency preparedness stuff. There's been times in my life I've been responsible to prepare for over 2,000 people.
Right.
So interacting with that, it always made sense to me. Plus human nature was, you're going to want to get home. Everybody wants to go home. We're safe home, right? So
yeah.
I started doing some of the situational awareness videos and some self-defense videos, because I do a bunch of that too. And, they start sending you other videos of other people that were preparing, right?
Right.
And I have a bit of a bad attitude, and I'll tell people they're full of shit. So I start seeing these people, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me, man? You're gonna grab a bag and run out to the woods and like lean to? And who the hell does that, right?" So that kind of reality, because like right now, if something happens, I'm not gonna grab the family and run off to the woods and live under a tarp, right? All our stuff's here, everything's here. So that kind of stuff, and just any subject that comes up, I'm really focused on trying to get folks that don't know much or don't do much to know something and do something, I'll give you for instance, we had fires come through here a couple of years back, right? And I actually put some of the videos on YouTube. My neighbors didn't have a clue what to do.
Right.
So in the middle of that, I'm like, hey, you guys need to do A, B, and C, right? And then later we would talk about it. And, every time something comes up, there's always that phone call. Hey, Steve, how you doing? I'm good. How you doing? Right. And then finally I'll be like, all right, what's your deal?
What do you want?
Yeah. After the niceties get over, I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Oh, you know how you do that stuff? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What are we doing? But yeah, so then the channel kind of morphed into something else. When I was retiring, all the youngsters said, you got to get on social media. I'm like, I'm on Facebook, man. They're like, no, old bastard, you got to do this other stuff too, right? I mean, yeah, I would watch some YouTube stuff or whatever, but, it wasn't a big deal. So sat down, learned how to do all the get everything online and all that other good stuff. But so I was teaching firearms and self-defense and emergency preparedness stuff to just regular folks. Because when I started doing this, me and some of the guys I worked with, they're like, yeah, let's try to do something, because we noticed like people were missing in their training important things, right? And for us, like for me personally, the question I always got was, have you ever helped one of those guys in there? And I'm like, wait a minute, why do I want to help one of the bad guys not be a bad guy? He can unfuck himself by himself. You know what I mean? Stealing candy from a baby, they know is bad. Selling crack cocaine on the corner is bad. They already know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my always thing, and kind of the thing of the channel or whatever, is I want to make less victims. So I want to talk to the people on the other side of the coin, and if I can help one person not become a victim, I'm good. That's kind of like my thing now in retirement, right?
Okay.
So keeping that in mind and keeping in mind that I've been told I don't have a filter, so I'll tell people they're full of shit. I start seeing these other videos in YouTube land, and people are just straight lying con men full of shit, and hopefully nobody gets mad. Most of the people in the comment section I recognize, and they know I have a mouth. So I start calling people out. I'm like, hey man, that's not how that works. Hey, that's not how that works either, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I caught a lot of heat for that, and a bunch of silliness has gone on. But ironically, the last 7+ years get to where we are now. The stuff that I started saying before, like get home bag. Yeah, all of a sudden people are like, hey, yeah, I got this get home bag, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, jackass, you were the same one that put comments on my channel saying I was an idiot because I wasn't echoing the mantra from your favorite little YouTube creators.
Mm-hmm.
But now that they've realized with BLM and COVID and everything else that's gone on in the last 7+ years, oh, I want to go home. Like, yeah, no shit, man. That's why I was saying it when I got on here, because unlike 99% of the people in YouTube land, I've sat down and I like did all the FEMA training. I've been responsible for, like I said, up to 2,000 people or more, having a plan for them and all this stuff, you know? So the emergency preparedness stuff, that's my little wheelhouse. So I guess that's where I try to keep stuff at. I'm not going to tell you how to homestead. I don't know how, you know?
Just go throw some seeds out there and it rains, and then you got a bountiful crop for a whole year,
right.
just like that.
My garden just got raided by the squirrels and the rabbits last night. I'm like, oh, you know, so I'm not trying to do all that stuff, but there's a lot of people in YouTube land that, how do I say it in English? They don't stay with what they know. You know, I was going to say stay in their lane, but
yeah.
Okay, and so, oh, sorry.
What year did you start doing social media and helping people?
Wait, hold on. I got to look and see when I retired. I forgot when I retired, like 2018 or something, like 7 years ago, whenever that would be.
Oh, okay, cool. About 2013. It was December of 2013. My now ex-wife was working out of town as a travel nurse. So I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do in the evenings, right? I threw the kids in bed and got nothing to fucking do. I live out in the middle of nowhere because I built my house and bunker in the bug out zone. So I didn't have to bug out. My idea of get home was to get home to the bunker bug out place. Anyway, right. So I started doing the videos. And of course I looked around and go, what are people talking about, Steve? And it was, how to bug out and, you know, survive. And I'm like, that's, you know, we talked about it some, but the natural progression of thought was, where are you fucking going? How are you going to get there? How many other people are going to do that? Right? You're going to show up at the lake and everyone's going to fish the fucking lake out in a day. You're not going to live out of the lake. Hunting, we went through the hunting stuff. Every fucking animal is going to be wiped out, you know, in a month. If it takes that long, you're not going to live off of deer and game and shit like that. So it became really evident really quick that there has to be another type of plan. Right? You need to have food for a long time. You need to have a secure place. So we started the conversations like bug out or bunker in, you know, and if you're going to bug out, you better have a place of your own. It better be well stocked and secure. And if you can even fucking get there, and there's a lot to it, you know, you can't just bug out or go live on, as you suggest, under a fucking tarp in the woods.
Well, for me, it's also, there's so many things like everyday emergencies before you get to, I got to bug out, right? Like I've had to bug out, and I'm going to stay away from names, but there's a fat POS in YouTube land who, when I was saying to him one time, hey man, people have bugged out. He's like, no, they haven't. Like, yeah, they have, dude. I had to take, when the fires came through, I've had to pack up like 3 times for fires, right? But there was one time we had to get. I got the wife, I got little ones. I'm like, we got to get, because if we don't get the hell out now, the fire's coming, there ain't going to be nowhere to go, right? So literally had to take that plan that I've always had, throw everything in 2 vehicles and roll, right? And the only thing that I missed in that whole plan was when I got back, there was a box of shotgun shells that had fallen down between my safes, and I didn't see it. So I failed because I didn't get that box of shotgun shells. Damn it! But we didn't go run off to some bug out place. We ran outside of the danger area with another family because they didn't know what to do. They grabbed what we told them to grab, and they met us, and we traveled in a caravan, right? We got out of the danger. I mean, we literally drove by the fire. It was burning on the side of the road as we're screaming, and firemen are yelling at us to get the hell out.
Right.
We went to
I've done that. It's fun.
Yeah, just outside the danger area. Sat down for a minute, did the whole, okay, everybody good, nobody's got no holes in them, all that good stuff.
Right.
Okay, what do we do now? And there was no, okay, let's go to Yellowstone and camp out forever now, right? No, it was okay. We went to the old lady's aunt's house because she called, you guys good? We got room, come over here, right? Mm-hmm. So my bug out location became the aunt's house.
So it's kind of like an ad hoc SHTF community.
But that's how it works in real life. If there's a car wreck on the freeway, and I'm sure you've seen them, right? People jump out to help. Now, granted, a bunch of people that drive by like douchebags, but everybody else jumps out and helps. And all of a sudden, here's your group, right? And then you just deal with things. And I try to get people to plan for that. Like today's video I put out, everybody's talking about, okay, there's another Great Depression coming. All right, well, here's 10 things you can do now that would help if on the far end, the depression happened, but over here where you're just trying to make a little bit more money so you can pay your bills off, the same things work there that will help you here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I get away from the fantasy bullshit. Oops, I cussed too much. Because there's just too many. There's too many people that are selling people fantasy. So you tell Joe, right? Joe, he's like, man, all of a sudden Joe wakes up. Joe's like, I need to do something. Craziness is going, right? And you tell Joe, okay, buy these things and you're fine. So Joe buys these things. And where does he get it from? My website, right? Mm-hmm. So Joe buys these things. He puts them in the closet. Joe doesn't know how they work. Joe doesn't have a freaking clue how to do anything with them, right? Mm-hmm. And then the best part for all these dudes that sell stuff, like, okay, here's your super silky saw, without saying who I'm talking about. I don't know how to use it. And if it breaks in an emergency, the dude that was either lying to him about the gear or lying to him about a philosophy or knowledge or whatever it is, when they go to him and they say, hey, dude, your shit didn't work, they're going to go, oh, well, it's just for entertainment value, man. I don't know what you're talking about. But then they present themselves as knowledgeable, educated, however they want, right? But you start looking and a lot of these dudes, they don't have the background to be opening their soup coolers, right?
Right.
I happen to have the background to be able to open my soup cooler, so I butt heads a lot with dudes in YouTube land that, but okay, so I guess that's a long way of getting around to, I'm trying to help the average person. I want my neighbor over there to be okay when the power goes out, Right. I'm in California. If the big one hits, the more of my neighbors and friends are okay, the more we can work towards fixing other things or helping other people.
Right. It's really nice that you want to help people, Steve.
Well, it's not that I really like people, but if I help them, then they don't bother me so fucking much.
Then they won't try and kill you and steal your shit if you're helping them out at it.
If my neighbor's got something to eat, they're not coming over here asking,
Right, yeah. And that's, Uman says lots of operators operating operationally, insinuating there's something they're not.
Yes.
Yeah. That's okay. I had fun when I went to the RMZ. I had a little suitcase and a fucking golf bag with some shit in it and got thrown in the jungle for a couple of weeks. And that was exciting. I didn't die. That fucking rooster almost got me one night though. And he got pretty close. It's how to row and when to row.
That's a joke on my channel because I got this whole pirate theme. I like pirates. There's a reason behind the Corsair's name and all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah. So, like, Redneck comes on there and he'll say something stupid, which is almost every comment he makes, and I'll tell him just shut up and row. So the crew's just there to row. Just shut up and row.
Shut up and row. Here's your fucking paddle. I don't want to hear anything out of you. It makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, I speak the language. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that you're still getting. So it sounds like it's good for your heart, man, to speak out and help people, and that benefits you, and then you benefit others, and that's great.
Yeah, dude. I don't like people being taken advantage of at all. And I mean, even if it's here in YouTube land and that fat piece of shit that likes to say operators operating operationally, when I finally called him out, that fucker just banned me in a heartbeat, right? And
Sure.
it's ridiculous because, con men don't want somebody to say, hey, that's a con man, right? Because they're running their game. I don't like it. You shouldn't run game on people, especially when you're saying and doing things that could cost them either financially or physically or, however, right? I'm against people being douchebags.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. That's cool. That's a good practice, I think. Well, I guess you don't think I'm a complete and total fucking douchebag, or you wouldn't be on here talking to me in a nice tone of voice.
This is true. There's hope for you.
There's there's hope. I can still get somewhere. Before the show, we just in case you guys didn't know, Steve with his experience and I with my experience have a different opinion of undersized people working in dangerous environments. I really have gotten nothing but grief working with people that I consider unphysically qualified to be in a man's world. And Steve has had some good experiences. So we come at things from a different angle. And then I think we should all have that, right? Just a different look at life. If we were all the same, where's all the fun in that?
Yeah.
I mean, but I used to say, Steve, if everyone thought like me, there'd be no fucking problems.
Well, I mean, if everybody would just do what I want them to do when I tell them to do it, life would be a better place.
We must have gone to the same boot camp. Exactly. I think we both got one. I got to ask you, were you in boot camp, did you get physically punched?
I can neither confirm nor deny any physical violence taking place. But when we were doing dress left dress, and I was looking that way, my arm was up, and my arm came down when they told me to, because I was a good little recruit. So I was bringing my head this way and my arm down at the same time. I hit a drill instructor across the back of the neck.
Good, nice.
Flipped his cover off. Yeah, I thought I was going to die that day, but we had a discussion about it later, and it worked out just fine.
He take you in the duty hut or the whiskey locker?
The duty hut, and then we had a discussion, and at the end of the discussion, it was decided that I would never say what happened in that room, and to get my dumb ass out.
Okay, that was he was nice to you.
Well, it didn't go to blows, but it almost did, and when he realized, I was like, "Fuck it, let's go."
We're here.
The other DI's like, all right, and we had a moment of not recruit DI-ness. Does that make sense? It was.
Yeah.
It was 3 men in the room, and before it actually came to blows, when like I'm like, fuck it, let's go. Then they were like, all right, hold on, get out. Did I see physical things take place? Oh yeah, man. I watched a dude hang our guide out the window by his neck because the dude was just a straight fucking punk.
The guide?
Yeah, the guide. It's the same guide that him and my squad leader wanted to run their mouths to me towards the end of boot camp, and I broke a freaking broom and told them to bring it because I was going to stab them with it. I was tired of both their shits. So, that stuff happens.
You sound like 3rd Battalion. Are you 3rd Battalion?
I don't remember which battalion it was. It was 1087 was a platoon, but I don't remember.
1087's 1st Battalion.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember which battalion it was. But
you were 1087, you said?
Or 1089. 1089. One
Holy fuck, you can't remember.
I'm bad with numbers and names. Always have been. But there's a documentary about Marine Corps boot camp. If you look up Marine Corps boot camp, 1989, boom, there's a documentary. I'm in it.
Nice, man. That's cool. Yeah, I didn't stand a chance to get guide. Our guide for my platoon had gone through boot camp, made it all the way 3rd phase, and got booted out. like 2 weeks before because of knee injuries. His knees were fucked up. So he was discharged, got his knees fixed, came back at age 27.
Oh, wow.
There was no fucking way I even stood a chance at guide. I was squad leader, which was cool. But he was actually a Marine Recruit of the Year. So, it was because of his story. It was just a great story, But he did take care of us. He knew what was coming next, and he would let all of us know, okay, we're about to get our fucking asses kicked. But he also said, hey, look, if we're going to suffer every fucking day, anytime anyone fucks up, we get fucked up with them. It was a leadership thing. And so he just said, we get to sleep all night. No fucking fire watch. And I was all for that. I was like, fucking A, but it was pretty good. But it's I fully admit, I watched someone get their fucking finger broken. I got fucking hit in the guts. I watched numerous guys get taken into the whiskey locker, and they come out with a different facial expression. And but when I watched an interview with Lee Ermey, everyone knows him as the gunnery sergeant on Full Metal Jacket. He said, look, if I yell at somebody, they'll learn. If I can yell at somebody and put my hands on them, they'll learn so much more.
Yeah.
And it's true. And I appreciate it. And I value getting hit and beat on and tortured. It means a lot to me as a human being. But I also wrote a lot of apology letters in boot camp to people that I fucked with and made them, I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm such a dick, and anyways, enough of that. So we got sucked back into that again. Okay. It's always when you're the reason for the safety film. That's good stuff. All right. So what I'd like to do is we're a little better than halfway through the show, Steve, is maybe take a couple questions from the audience, who may have questions for you, me, both of us, about whatever the fuck is going on. Let's see. Uman says 0. You bunch of lazy bastards. Get some good questions in there for Steve. Come on, man. Come on. Anyways, I'll bring up something here. You're gonna love this one. Remember last week, Steve? Poland said Russia launched a missile and a drone. It was a drone, and it flew in there, and they got NATO together, and they wanted to do the article. Let's all get together and go to war now. Do you recall that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Apparently,
the drones landed in their territory.
Yeah. Poland launched a missile at itself. It wasn't Russia. That news story came up today. I imagine that's what it's about, because the last missile that was launched into Russia came from Ukraine, and they tried blaming Russia for that one a couple years ago.
Right.
So, this NATO alliance, we're all for one and one for all, three musketeers, the faggoty European mentality. They almost started World War III over this drone, right? So what do you think of that Poland launched it at itself, either accidentally or otherwise?
Well, if I had to guess, it was accidentally. And then, like, when the Ukrainians bombed part of Poland, and they tried to blame it on Russia, Russia knows better than that. I mean, why would Russia bomb Poland and enlarge the conflict when they're winning the conflict? People want to say, "Oh,
sense."
Yeah, people say, "Oh, the Ukrainians are going to kick their ass," and no, the Ukrainians are holding on. I went and I spent a lot of time watching like the combat footage from there and everything, trying to learn. And drones are scary shit, man. But
the little ones, the weaponized little bastards.
Yeah, that they can just literally fly through a bunker, the door of a bunker, and blow you up. Yeah. I do think that there needs to be some gentlemen's agreements on drones, though, because when you watch these guys, dudes that are out of the fight, man, they're either already hurt or they're just done. They throw their rifles down, they throw their helmets off. Yeah, and then these jackwagons want to drop hand grenades on them. Like, no, man, that's not cool. If a dude's out of the fight, he's out of the fight. Take him to the rear and all that good stuff.
Well, that's the Geneva Convention bullshit they taught us. You cannot refuse to accept surrender.
Yeah, but even if I'm on the street, man, and I get in a bar fight and I lay the dude out, because that's what always would happen in every bar fight.
Yeah, I never got hit and lost.
Yeah, I never lost a bar fight ever. When the dude's laid out, he's laid out. You know what I mean? But then going back to the big picture stuff, Poland it's where the Ukrainian, the volunteers, they go into Poland, then they cross the border into Ukraine from Poland, right? So like if you're an American dude, you can go to Poland, they'll hook you up with the like Foreign Legion, whatever they're calling it, and then they'll send you into Ukraine. So I mean, technically, if Russia wanted to bomb Poland right on the border there, right where their little camps are that you can go find on Google and see them, I mean, can you get mad at Russia? Like, okay, that's where the enemy's camping out. I should probably go blow them up, you know?
That was the perfect segue into my next fucking question for you. We've got American officers observing training between Belarus and Russia, while we are supplying Russia's enemy with weapons that are killing Russian soldiers. I am still at a fucking loss on this one, Steve. Do you have any insight or thoughts with respect to that? Why would Russia and Belarus allow American military officers observe them in their training?
That stuff goes on all the time. I mean,
but why at this time, since we are literally at war with them through a proxy army with that little...
Yeah. Some of it's because they want you to see what their toys are. They want you to see how effective they are, how well trained they are, right? Because they all know this dude's going to go back to his people and he's going to get debriefed. So what did they see? So they bring out all the good toys, all the good troops, right? And they show it, and then you go back and you say, damn, Russian guys is kind of scary, right? Because that's what they want you to see. Yeah. It happens all the time. I just don't know how to say that. I even did it when I was in the Marine Corps. We went and hung out with the Saudis and the Kuwaitis and all these other people, right? And we trained with them, but we saw them training. It happens all the time.
Okay, good. Thanks for getting that out there. It's basically very personal propaganda in a way. Kind of like when we see a military parade. Well, when we were kids, you and I, it was the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Now, North Korea likes to do that. You know, they drive all 6 tanks they have around the block repeatedly in front of Kim Jong-un.
Right.
Make it look like they got an entire division, you know.
But, I mean, the same thing happens here. They'll be training, I don't know, wherever, right? So Fort Bragg or something, right? They're training, and there's foreign military officers there, so they can do the same thing. Oh, these Americans are scary. Look what they can do, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
but typically they're allies. And that was the one weird thing to me.
I've been on Pendleton and observed by Chinese army.
No shit.
Yeah, we were out there doing, you know, live fire exercises.
Right.
And everybody's like, who are them dudes? They're dressed funny. They were Chinese observers. Like, oh, all right, whatever. You know, it was way back in the 90s, so we didn't really think that. We were like, all right, whatever, they're watching us, cool, you know? Right. But it happens all the time.
That's quite fascinating. I never saw any, while I was in Pendleton, out in the field, I never saw any. I do miss the live fire and night ops, and that shit was fun back when my knees worked and I could see at night and see during the day. The drones now scare me as much as helicopters did back then. Yeah. I just said it's not fair when a Cobra helicopter flies by, the pilot looks at you and the gun comes over and he does this. He moves his head so the gun goes back and forth. Like, I just killed all you motherfuckers.
Well, it's fair when he's pointing at them, not me.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh man. And then I still have nightmares about Heinz, those fucking Russian armored flying fucking tanks. I still have nightmares about them. All right. Man, do we have any questions out there? Oh, here we go. He says, when my son was in boot camp and at Knox for training, there were so many uniforms and languages being spoken, I didn't recognize half of them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. Yeah, I never had, me personally, never had that.
Yeah, no, we did it. The Westpac I was on, we trained with pretty much everybody in the Middle East. So it was, to me, it was just common. Like, all right, cool. So we got to go jump around on the T-72s that the Kuwaitis and Saudis had, which was weird. They had a whole bunch of Soviet bloc equipment.
Oh yeah.
I'm out there I was talking to the sergeant major, And because we were out there taking pictures, and he walks up and he goes, "I never thought I'd see this," and he started talking about all the Russian equipment and everything. So
that's interesting. You said a sergeant major?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fuck. He spent his whole career hating fucking communists. So to finally see one of those up close must have been fucking eye opening. It really was. Yeah, that's crazy. Cool shit. Which gets us, when we speak of old Soviet equipment, the story that I talked about, I think was yesterday, the country next to Ukraine, Moldavi.
Moldavi, I'm going to say it wrong now that you said it wrong.
I fucked it all up, Steve. Sorry. But, the thing was that...
I think it is. So.
Moldani. Anyway, it's right there.
Yeah.
It's a fucking country. It used to be part of a Yugoslavia, I think, or... fuck, I can't remember. It doesn't matter. The point is that there's right now a color revolution going on, and Ukraine may send troops and equipment in to help the revolutionaries overthrow the government. And I was like, why would they do that? What's the point of that? And it came up right in the comments. Someone said, well, it's because they have the largest stash of Soviet era weapons and equipment. I don't know if that's true or not, but it would make sense because everyone else is running out of fucking howitzers and howitzer, ammunition. Moldova. Thank you, H. Lynn. Go ahead and say Moldova.
No, I won't be able to do it.
But they would get a stash of weapons to take back into Ukraine to try and use against the Russians, and then they could start conscripting, fucking soldiers. So what do you think of that move?
Anything's
World War III type stupidity shit. What's that?
Anything's possible, but I doubt it. Ukraine's literally holding on.
Yes.
I mean, literally, they're just holding on to take. I mean, they would have to send, like divisions over into the other country to help out or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can't afford that. They don't have the manpower. They literally don't have the manpower to go help in some other country like that. I mean, could they send a couple companies of MPs or something over that way? Well, yeah, sure. But as far as all that, I don't see that. And then, I mean, if they're having a color revolution there, the last thing they want to do is have Russia breathing down their neck. So,
well, Russia's behind them. They would be going the other way, to the west.
Oh yeah, but then people are doing that anyway without having to piss off the big Russian bear. Yeah,
right.
Look what it did for the Ukraine when they want to piss off the big Russian bear. Oops.
Well, I think they'd rather take on Moldova, which is a fucking shithole of a state, than to go after Russia, who has, I think, 600,000 fucking troops right now staging for their next fucking move. At least that's the propaganda.
Yeah, well, even if they're just nobodies, you get enough dudes shooting AKs the same direction, it's going to make a difference, yeah?
So, all right, now you touched on a topic. AK or AR?
AR.
There it is. Thank you, sir. I fucking hate the AKs. I hate them. But, you literally, I watched a video where a guy was making fun of the comparing AK to AR. I can't remember the name of his channel. He was a hilarious dickhead. But he was like, okay, both these weapons accept all kinds of accessories. And he showed the AR with all this shit on it. And then he showed the fucking AK, and he was using SpongeBob SquarePants fucking duct tape to tape a scope on it and tape a flashlight on it. And, and then he opens up the fucking action, puts a ham sandwich on it, shuts it, and just starts fucking laying down, cover fire. And then he takes a little sprinkle of fucking dust and goes, and he blows it at the AR, and it explodes. It was just fucking hilarious.
Okay, now you both pissed me off. You're both wrong.
I knew he'd come on. I knew it. I knew he'd say something, or someone would.
Yeah. I can reach out 500 yards easy with the AR, so I'd rather do that. AKs aren't designed to do that.
No, but they will fucking chamber mud and make mud fly. It's a crazy weapon, but
yeah,
it's some funny shit. Okay, well, we got through that pretty good. Yeah, wow. Okay, what else we got out there, Mr. Uman? Anything good come up that we want to throw into the fire? Have Corsair Steve, another ridiculous jarhead, who's got experience that if you knew what he did, you would probably shit yourself and run to mama. And the questions are flying.
Redneck said something. Why is Russia playing with Ukraine when they could have already turned their country upside down?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Putin, he's not going to overextend himself. Why would he? What does he have to do? He's in my opinion, he's played this brilliantly. He's been fucking patient.
Yeah.
He's been smart. He hasn't gotten sucked in with any of the fucking games, even when they came over the border. And I think they went to, was it Kursk? My Russian is a little rusty, but he just chased them back out.
Yeah.
They attacked the civilian infrastructure. They attacked civilians with long-range missiles that were supplied by the U.S. and Britain. He could have responded and just lobbed all kinds of nasty shit, but it would just escalate. So he's played it intelligently, in my opinion.
Well, I think after the initial airborne assault and all that stuff, I think he thought they were going to go in there and just slap him around. So I will give it wholeheartedly to the Ukrainian people that they grabbed their rifles and ran out there and fought him to a standstill, So, but I think Putin did good after the initial attack got stopped. He's like, okay, now we'll just slowly start taking a little at a time,
right,
until I get what I want out of this. And I mean, it's good for him on all kinds of levels. He's figuring out which one of his generals are morons, because some of them he's just had to get rid of, because they can't get toilet paper to the front or whatever, right?
Right.
And look at how much drama he's causing with the West, and so it's a win-win for him. He doesn't really have to stop doing a damn thing until he feels like it.
And I really expected him to roll into Kiev and force a surrender and some kind of armistice peace talks, but he's really just allowed them to keep putting their own nutsack in the vice and tightening it. That's just some of the most stupid shit I've seen Ukraine just keep doing. And then anyways, it has cost Europe. It has exposed Europe as being untrained, unskilled, under-equipped, incapable, just fucking stupid. And then the political side makes the military side look competent.
Yeah.
It's to me unfathomable, but here we are. We get to witness this. And so Russia now has a wartime economy. They've proven they can keep up with wartime demand at this level, which is erased all of Europe and a lot of American military equipment and supplies. So it's been instructive, I think, for everyone.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. Then we're talking conventional warfare only, of course, not nuclear. Right. But the hypersonic missiles have come into play just a little bit. I think Putin pulled his dick out, showed everyone how big it was, and launched a few of those. Yeah. And showed, you ain't stopping those motherfucking things.
Right.
So, but then he was very, I think, again, reserved. Yeah, he's done what he wanted to do.
It would have been over already if that actor that's playing president there, if he would just stop being stupid. I mean, he's just trying to get money out of it, whatever. At this point, he's just getting people killed, It would be great if somebody could say, Russia, go back to your borders. But anybody with half a clue knows that Russia wants access to that ocean there, and they want a buffer between us and them. And he should just say, hey, look, we fought you to a standstill. You keep what you got. We'll keep what we got. Folks want to be Russian, they can go across the border, Yeah. Otherwise, he's just drawing it out. And I'm honestly tired of seeing people getting killed there, man.
Yeah. I called it genocide. I called it Ukraine committing genocide against Ukraine.
Yeah, pretty much. They're doing it to themselves. Yeah.
It's literally a fucking meat grinder. You may as well put wood chippers and just fucking jump into it at home instead of going and having the Russians do it. It's awful. And I think it's fucking criminal beyond measure. But no one listens to me anymore.
Well, the answer's there. He just has to stop backing out of everything, trying to be play the part of a tough guy,
Yeah, which is not convincing.
No.
But Russia will not allow NATO to move in. Russia's not going to give back the eastern provinces nor Crimea.
No.
And if they're not careful, he's going to take fucking Odessa from them also.
Yeah, I think he's just hanging out. It's causing so many problems on a global scale. that he doesn't have to do anything. He can just hang out now. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah. And then, you mentioned earlier, Steve, the coming financial hard times. I don't know whether to call it a recession or a coming depression. There's so many different predictions out there, but that's going to weigh heavily on this as well. If you don't have the money and you can't borrow anymore because you're already broken, you can't pay back what you owe. Let's just jump into this. Okay, the war isn't what we think. Something's amiss. I think it's all about bankrupting the U.S. Well, it kind of does tie in with the economic thought we were just throwing out there. He's showing how weak we are economically, and as well as the ability to fund a war machine and operate one. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I don't think when they crossed the border there that it had anything to do with us as far as like the bankruptcy and all that. And I mean, quite honestly, the economic stuff has been going on for years now. They just covered it up when old Joe was in there. And I've had this conversation with lots of people. When old Joe was there, they just set everything up into a wonderful shit sandwich. And now that Trump's there, they're like, here, have your shit sandwich, dude. So when you see, the numbers and all that, they've been hiding them. They come up with them all the time, and then they go back and change them and all that good stuff. I don't think the Ukrainian thing is an attempt to bankrupt us. That just, I don't know. To string it into that seems kind of a long way to go.
A lot of people said and claimed Russia and China, they're going to wait for us to have a depression, then they're going to invade us, or they're doing this to bankrupt us. And it's like, all they got to do is sit back. We're doing it to ourselves. And I don't mean me and you. I mean the government. They're showing they don't have to. Why help your enemy if they're already killing themselves? So Russia and China, in my opinion, just need to sit back and watch.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. As a society, as a nation, or whatever. I mean, just look at what's going on every day. If I'm Russia and I'm China and I'm whatever other country doesn't like us, I just keep helping people be mad at each other and watch the shit happen. I mean, somebody asked about how close are we to civil war, in the comments over there. We're probably as close as we've ever been, right? So if I'm Russia and China, I don't have to come up with some great plan, right? I just got to make sure that Antifa gets a little bit of money, that I give some training to those douchebags of America, right? I don't have to do anything if Americans are going after Americans, right? And they've been plotting, planning, working towards pretty much where we're at right now for decades. And, most people don't realize it, but we're not here by accident, right? So as far as like, okay, I'm going to do something, I'm going to cause this war in Ukraine to bankrupt America. No, they've been already doing things to morally, spiritually, physically, whatever, bankrupt us for decades,
Do you think we're falling apart more because of the Kalergi plan or because of what Yuri, I'm going to try and remember his name, Yuri Brezhnev. Fuck, I can never remember his name. Russian fellow, defected to America, said this is how communism is taking over, and they're doing all these steps, and you don't even see it anymore. You think Yuri was right or the Kalergi plan?
No, the Russian dude was right. I mean, it's just there. And I mean, if you go back, and is there Chinese influence and all that too? Yeah, man. There's, they've been winning without shooting.
Yes.
And people were like, well, what should we do back? Do to them what they did to us and take everything back without shooting.
Well, they tried exporting liberalism to Russia, and Putin won't fucking have anything to do with it.
Right. But I mean, on a global scale, people need to realize that everybody's trying to take the West down. Why? Because the West are the big boys, right? Mm-hmm. And they've been doing it for decades and decades and decades. And I get frustrated because you get a lot of these dudes that they just woke up yesterday and went, oh wait, look, there's a great big world out there, right? You get I'm going to be rude. You get some jackass in Kansas, right? Who his entire life was dating his cousin and going to the rodeo, and then all of a sudden he wakes up one day and says, oh shit, there's all these Russians and Chinese and these Venezuelans and then these Canadians and they don't like me none. Well, yeah, no shit, Bubba. Welcome to the fucking fight. This has been going on for fucking decades, you know?
And they have pearls of wisdom too, like you'd never thought of anything.
Yeah, you know, and okay, so like on the big global thing, you take human nature and you take tribalism. Everybody's in a tribe way up here. Like most people who have never been out of the US don't realize nobody gives a shit that you're from Louisiana when you step out of the US. You're an American, right? But they allow themselves to be separated into every little which way they can, and we lose sight that we're Americans, right? And that's how you get like, oh, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And the enemies at the global level use that, and it's working. I mean, just look around how many people don't like each other right now. Look what just recently happened with Charlie Kirk, and people are like, oh, fuck him, and no, fuck you back. And so going back further and thinking of like Sun Sen and stuff, right? Chinese guys that wrote military books a long time ago that still apply, that people still learn. If they can defeat us without having to fight us, that's beautiful for them.
Yeah, good deal. Uman says we got a couple more questions and we should go a little long. Is that okay with you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, let's do it. Roll that beautiful bean footage, Uman.
Uh-oh.
I think he went to get another beer.
Oh, he dropped the ball. Oh,
wait, there we go. Detroit prepping checking in. Hey, what's up, Detroit? He says, what will happen to Israel is the only question I keep thinking of. Any thoughts? Well, that's a quagmire. I mean, even how to address this. Israel is continuing to alienate, this is my opinion, they're continuing to alienate nations around the world. The UN is probably an interesting basket of shit to look into to see what people are doing. I think world on a global level is seeing a genocide there, and they don't like seeing that level of destruction and death, and they're making enemies left and right. Israel is. They're making people who don't like them openly say they don't like them. They're starting to sanction them. We're not going to sell you weapons. We're not going to buy your weapons. And to me, I see Israel isolating itself in a way that is not going to be beneficial for them. Now, just a few months before October 7th, there was a lot of trouble with Netanyahu. His government was failing. There was starting to be internal strife there, meaning Israelis were pissed at him. They didn't want him in his government and his thinking. And then they had the October 7th, whether you think it's a false flag or not, whether you think Israel stood down or not. Now he got to be the wartime badass guy, and it's kind of united Israel a little more. So there's not so much opposition, but it's a shit show. And I think they're going to isolate themselves, and it's going to hurt them long run. What are your thoughts, Steve?
I think Israel's being isolated. So a thing that I touch on for like the crew members and the people on Patreon, and I mention it in regular YouTube land, but in regular YouTube land, I'm trying to help everybody, right? Except for when I do my lives and then I start telling liberals that they suck cock and can fuck off. So
acceptable, yeah.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Going back to the whole global tribalism thing, right? Mm-hmm. I don't get mad when Israel does things to help their tribe. Just the same as I wouldn't get mad if the tribe of John was sitting here and you're surrounded by enemies, and then the tribe of Uman's over here, and he's going to send you guns and stuff, and you try to get more guns and stuff from him, right? Mm-hmm. So when you think of it that way, like, okay, cool. Without getting into the, should they be there and not be there and blah, blah, blah. I don't get any of that bullshit. So
I don't like any of them over there.
They're
nothing but causing fucking chaos for everyone and misery and hatred and more of that division, which you're talking about, Steve. But continue, please.
Here's my thing. October 6th, Israel wasn't fucking with them. Israel wasn't in Gaza. They've been out of Gaza for over 10 years at that point. Hamas was abusing their own people, taking the food, digging the tunnels, doing all these things that everybody knows they did, right? Mm-hmm. Does Hamas and them, they specifically said, we are going to kill the Israelis. Did the Israelis see them training? Yeah, but they saw them training every day. So take, for instance, in Korea. So you got North Korea's out here doing drills every day, right? The dudes in South Korea, they see it every day. But they're not going to be like, oh, shit, here we go. Oh, shit, here we go every day, right? And then, Sunday rolls around and they're like, fuck it, let's have a barbecue. Yeah? But that's the day Hamas decides to come. So when people say, oh, the army told them to stand down, shut the fuck up. They didn't tell them to stand down. They just saw it every day. And if you see it every day, you get numb to it, right? And then we decided to go that day, right?
Except they kept coming, and then a bunch of shit hit the fan. Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody did to the tribe of John what happened to the Jews, I'd say the same thing. Go kill every one of those sons of bitches that came after you, right? Mm-hmm. And when they say, oh, well, there's innocent people there, fuck off. Because Hamas is supported by who? Hamas doesn't bake the bread. The baker bakes the bread and gives it to Hamas. Does that make sense? If they wanted Hamas gone, they could get rid of Hamas.
You can make that argument. At the same time, Hamas shows up with AK-47s and says, give me your fucking bread or I kill you and your family.
Oh, yeah, sure. But as far as the genocide thing...
Both ways, though,
Right. As far as the genocide thing's going, it's been proven that no. So as Israel's cut off this section's okay. Then they say, everybody move over here. So everybody moves over here, right? Then they fuck up this section. What they don't tell you is that section that they just screwed up and left, these people have food and stuff. It goes back to what I was saying about propaganda and stuff, right? They could say, hey, look, all these people are starving. And you go, oh, yeah, they're starving. And then if you already have a bias against a certain group, then you say, yeah, fuck them. No, even the UN has said, hey, we send food there and Hamas steals it or doesn't let it go. But the problem is you got what people want to hear. Fuck the Jews, right? Okay, well, fuck Tribe John. And you'd be like, wait a minute, we're just defending ourselves, right? And we're trying to not shoot the civilians. We're trying to take, and here's my question on the not feeding them and genocidal thing. When in the fuck am I supposed to feed my enemy? Like when did that become a rule? Like I don't recall that being in the lawfare for war and everything else. Like, wait, if they're not eating, then they can't fight, then the war's over, right? But as far as what everybody's saying, if you go past the headline of what they want you to hear, what they want to feed you, and what the sheep want to consume, the Jews, right, wrong, and different, and no, I don't like Jews, I don't dislike Jews, I don't give a fuck that they're Jewish, right? They've gone out of their way, like these hospitals and stuff, they've sent their special forces dudes in there to give them gas, to give them generators, to give them food, to pull out the babies on incubators and all this shit. And the news is just like, say it for a minute and then go away, right? And then if you start looking in the U.S., which groups really don't like the Jewish folks? Well, they seem to be a lot of groups that the rest of us are having issues with. But when now we all have this common enemy who, okay, great, the Jews are doing what Jews do. Well, what the fuck does that have to do with your day, right? Because there's not going to be Jewish commandos coming up your drive later today, right? But there could be an Antifa motherfucker, your neighbor next to you that is a leftist douchebag. Okay, hold on, I got back up. Being a good Californian, and from being in California, for everybody listening, the people in Northern California are more liberal than the people in Southern California.
What the fuck you talking about?
Or was this way? I gotta put it that way. Okay, so
yeah.
The neighbor next to you is more of a threat to you right now than the Jewish army kicking the shit out of the people that were blowing folks up in their own fucking houses. Right. October 7th was just fucking bullshit. And it's not to say that the Jews shouldn't be getting get back is just wrong. And okay, it's taken them 2 years. These motherfuckers got tunnels everywhere. They've done all this craziness. They're taking their time as much as they can. Are innocent people get killed? Yeah. Just the same as if you came across that border and fucked with my tribe, I'm coming to get yours. Right. And to all of a sudden say the Jews can't do that, Well, why can't the Jews can't do that? Well, because I don't like them. Why don't you like the Jews? Well, because somebody told me I'm not supposed to like the Jews and put it in my head, right?
Mhm.
Like, that doesn't bother me. Your neighbor down the street that thinks what happened to Charlie Kirk was cool and is saying, kill more of them. Wait, who's them? Well, it's not the Jews. It's you and me. And that's what people should be concerned about, not some bullshit over in Gaza where those people got what they had coming. Sorry, I get on rants sometimes.
No, that's okay, man. Here's my issue with the whole thing is when October 7th happened, I was like, okay, Israel needs to go in there and kill every fucking terrorist. I hate terrorists. They're fucking cowards. They're chicken shits. They use women and children as shields. They recruit from the same women and children because they piss off the IDF. The IDF kills their family. Now they've all decided they all hate the IDF and they're going to help the fucking terrorists. But the terrorists don't wear uniforms. They won't meet you on the field of battle. They're fucking cowards. They're chicken, just like fucking Antifa, a bunch of chicken shit. Just like BLM. They'll fucking beat you up if they outnumber you. Otherwise, they'll run around and call the fucking police and say, my vagina hurts. Please come and help me. This big, tall, blonde motherfucker is going to beat my ass, right? So I don't have any real love for the Palestinians. And then the shit they're pulling over here, I can't fucking stand that. Yes, they're a bigger threat to me than the IDF because the IDF is over there trying to dig through rubble and find some fucking tunnels to get through and then get in and drop a little napalm down or something. But the point is, my point is I get it. War used to be you kill everyone and break every fucking thing, and that's how wars are. Now we've got this plastic banana bullshit war where no one's allowed to die and you can't blow anything up. So yeah, it's fucking horrifying. And I see and hear reports of war crimes, but every war has war crimes.
Yes.
Every war has a type of genocide and everyone gets fucking raped, whether they like it or not. Well, some of them like it, I guess. I know I'm being insensitive, but it's a fucking mess. But I want all these terrorists dead. I do. I want them fucking dead. The terrorists are terrorists. They need to fucking die. I'm still mad about the fucking barracks, right?
Yeah, me too.
But I don't like people dying. I have a fucking heart now, but I don't like terrorists, and I don't like terrorists, and I don't like communists. I don't like any of these fucking people. So I'm like, okay, I don't care who wins as long as the right people die. But how do you solve this fucking problem? But the world doesn't like it. Uman says he doesn't care about our side, not our problem. It's not our problem. America tried that in World War I. America tried that in World War II. Not our problem until it became our problem. And that's the next line is, well, what if someone decides they're going to go fight on behalf of the Palestinians against the IDF, and the IDF says we're getting our ass kicked. Netanyahu says fucking light them up with some of our nukes. Now we got fucking nuclear exchange, and it's just stupid. So I don't like any of this. I just want them to fucking stop, but they won't and they can't because that's who they are. They've been fighting for hundreds of years or thousands of years.
Well, I'd like them to stop too. And I mean, quite honestly, they've gone to Hamas several times and said, hey, let's stop this. And several times Hamas has said, fuck you. Yeah, and that's the part that the propaganda and the leftists, I don't know how else to say it, they skip over that. And they just want to talk about, because if you look at the videos and if you know anything about the stuff over there, Hamas and those guys, they have an entire production crew that will fake atrocities. It will fake this and fake that, right?
I hate that too.
They've been doing it for fucking decades. Yeah. But a lot of people wake up right now, oh, what's going on? Oh, look at all this evilness. And you tell them, hey, man, go look this shit up. There's documentaries showing that they're faking all this.
The same guy, the same kid killed 10 different fucking times in a row. And then you see the raw footage. They get up after and cut. And they get up and start laughing and go have a fucking tuna sandwich.
Yeah. So who wants you and everybody else mad at Israel? Well, that would be the Muslims. The Muslims want you to say, hey, government, stop sending them money, weapons, intelligence, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Why? Because the Muslims want to win. It's that easy, right? They want to take it over. So if they can be here whispering in everybody's ear, hey, those evil, bad Jews, nobody likes Jews.
That's fucking psyop. That's total psyop. It's all fucking psyop.
And then when the Jews
come the attitude coming out of Israel that they can own our government because they're bribing them the best. Fuck that and fuck them. They can fucking fuck off.
Yes,
I don't like
but
any of them.
whose fault is that they can bribe those people? It's not
our own
it's not
government.
Israel.
Our own government.
It's the guy that's being
Israel's
bribed,
playing
right?
the game. They're playing the fucking game, and they're being
Yeah.
allowed to play the game because there's no fucking integrity.
So then here goes my next question. So when you say, okay, the government's fucked up, da 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 da, right? Okay, everybody for decades now has sat on their fucking couch, and this is a thing that I say all the time.
Okay.
Sit on their lopsided ass couch in their lopsided ass trailer, drinking Bud Light, trying to figure out what color tucket they're gonna fucking buy before they go to barbecue to try to get on a date with their sister, right? They've been sitting there all this time doing that. All of a sudden they wake up, okay, well, what are you gonna do now? Oh, I can't do nothing. I can't do this. I can't do that. Yeah, if the government is corrupt and doesn't have integrity and all that other shit, right? Well, get off your fucking ass and go run for office. If you don't, oh, fuck the police. Okay, go be the police, right? Oh, my city council's fucked up. Okay, go be the city council. It just drives me nuts, man.
You may not know it. I got involved in local politics back in California, good old liberal Northern California.
Where all the hippies are from. I want everybody to know that. I'm from the Central Coast, by the way. So,
are you? That's
yeah. No, Lomfolk.
Okay, there we go. So, I got into local politics, and the fucking dirt at the local level made me want to puke. The fucking the lying, the cheating, the politics, the partisan horse shit, the fucking stealing people's property, arresting, stealing people's kids, drugs, prostitution. It was unfucking believable.
So here's the thing. All the people that sit back on their fucking couch drinking their Bud Light, wondering when they're going to go shop at Target again, they claim to have the high moral standards, the integrity, all this shit. Okay, get off your ass and go be the dog catcher. Go fucking do something. Do something instead of sitting on your ass complaining. Because then they sound like other people that just sit in other bad areas and complain about other people. So where am I going with that? Okay, so you get one group of people that say, oh, it's the Jews, and the Jews cause all the problems in the world, and Jew, right? Okay, well, look in the mirror, because there's people over here that say you and I are the problem. We're vintage, because that's how we refer. We're vintage. We're white. I'm good looking, and it's all of our fault for where they're at in the ghetto smoking crack. So you're playing the same game. Not you. When I say you, I mean the big you, right? So if I'm blaming the Jews because my wife's a bitch and I ran out of fucking beer, right? I'm doing the same thing that somebody living in the ghetto is doing. I can't get a job because a white man's keeping me down. Well, how the fuck does that work, man? You get what I'm saying there? So people need
catching your jive. I'm catching your jive.
People need to just realize they're doing the same thing they say that other people shouldn't be doing, right? So you're always somebody else's bad guy. And it's just kind of a silly game. Everybody needs a boogeyman, right? How about we don't have a boogeyman, and they're doing what they're doing because it's good for their tribe. What can I do for my tribe? Sitting in the trailer drinking Budweiser and just talking shit about everybody else isn't good for my tribe. Why don't I get out and run for office? And if I'm a teacher, go teach. Why don't I do something? And I'm honestly to the point now in life, the people that don't want to actually do something, then sit down and shut the fuck up. Sit down and shut the fuck up. Don't want to hear it no more. You know?
I did something. I got rid of the biggest fucking tyrant in the county at the time. I was part of the crew that got his ass thrown out of fucking office. And I didn't want his job. I wasn't qualified for it. But I wanted to continue to participate in local politics. And I got fucking railroaded because the good old boy system of the evil whitey.
Oh, no!
That's right. The local whiteys got me. You know, they just fucking used me. And then they fucking got rid of me when they were done. They're like, we don't want that guy. You know, I was the just the fucking guy that went in there and just tore everyone a new ass. And as soon as as soon as the problem was solved, they just got rid of me and just introduced their people into those positions. And I was so fucking disgusted, Steve. I was like, you know what? I'm done. Right. So I do this instead here with me and you, right? Telling people, get your fucking shit together. And if you want to make a difference, call these motherfuckers, harass them, get everyone else to call and harass and see if we can push them that way. But you can't make them. It's like pushing on a bowl of fucking Jello. Your hands just go in it, and now you're covered in their shit. But there's no great answer, like you're saying. You know, I mean, you bitch about it, nothing happens. You try and do something, nothing happens, or you get shot like Charlie Kirk. You know, because he's pissed off this tribe.
Right.
You know, trying to make this tribe happy. This tribe's pissed at you, and everyone's pissed at each other. And what a shit show! I love it.
Yeah, but if you actually take, and I mean, just to use him as an example, right? So he's got his thing, he's doing his thing. My whole thing with that dude, besides he seems to be a decent dude and all that, I don't agree 100% with everything he said, right?
Which dude is this?
Charlie Kirk.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So
continue.
The difference is he got off his ass and put himself out there, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, and I'll just be a dick. A bunch of these dudes running around saying they're patriots and this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Go do something, man. And okay, yeah, right now it's not a two-way rifle range. It's not fucking kinetic like they all say, right? And they want to run around and, oh, look, I got a new bulletproof vest. Oh, okay, great, dude. How about you go to that city council meeting and say something? How about you run for that office? How about you go be the change you want to see, right? I mean, I spent a lot of time in federal service, and I spent a lot of time pushing back against all the bullshit, right? And then you get some dude, I don't know, some fucking plumber in Tennessee is going to tell me I'm fucked up. Why? Oh, you live in California, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. You're a Fed boy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, at least I've done something in my life, dude. You sit around fucking drinking Budweiser and talking shit about some mythical, magical point in the future where you're going to get up and do something. How about you do something now? The fight isn't on the battlefield. The fight is in the courtroom. The fight is when you vote. I mean, how many of these dudes, I don't vote, it's rigged. Well, it really don't have to be rigged if you and the rest of the patriots are just sitting on your ass not fucking voting, use it as an excuse. Yeah. Does that make sense? It's time for people to unass and do something or shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it takes dedication, effort. I mean, Scott Pressler, you know, an unlikely candidate for making fucking change, has made an amazing change. You know what I'm talking about?
Now I'm thinking about, give me something to go off of. I'm incredibly bad with
up in Pennsylvania. He does the get out the register people as Republicans.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's
the persistence on X. I follow him. He, you know, I
heard somebody talking about him. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about his personal life. I couldn't give a fuck because he's made a big difference, and that's impressed the shit out of me.
Yeah.
You know, I had 80-something thousand subscribers. I was growing like mad, but we got attacked by the social media tribe. So the prepared tribe got its ass fucking handed it to him because we actually had no power. They nuked us. And so, you know, how do I get back into the game in a way that works for me? And then, you know, I had a big part of my life destroyed by the cancel culture.
And the reason they can do that is because they've been working at it.
Go ahead, say that again.
The reason they can do that is they've been working at it. If you go back to, and it goes beyond this because I've had historian dudes go, hey, you know, and I'm like, yes. But I say the 60s because it's something everybody can wrap their head around, right? So everybody can pretty much go, yeah, okay, the 60s, hippies, this, right? Okay, if you take just from the 60s forward, you can see that we've steadily been in a communist takeover, a socialist takeover. And then now, I mean, right when Obama got in there, no, he's not American. It was a communist coup. They were taking over. They were trying to cement it. And then the bad orange man fucked that up, right? And then they get him out by doing all the craziness. And then we got Biden in there, and they tried to cement it, and it didn't work. And now we're back to where we are now, right? It's exposed all the stuff that's going on. So then my question to a lot of people is, how much of the shit that comes out of your mouth is actually helping the other side? So what do I mean by that? In the 60s, it was fuck the pigs, right? Well, nowadays it's all cops are bastards. And everybody's been slowly programmed over the decades, seeing it on TV. Remember when TV shows used to show good cops, Dirty Harry, all that good stuff, right? And then slowly as media got taken over, one of the pillars of society, media gets taken over. All of a sudden, no. What was good is bad now, right? Being married and being loyal to your wife. No, it's better now. See how we get the media out there and fuck around, don't get married, do all this shit, right? Get rid of the nuclear family. All this stuff over the decades has been told to us, oh, this is how we should be doing things. So then my question to folks always is how much crap coming out of their mouth is actually helping the socialist cement what it is they're doing?
Yeah.
And an easy one is fuck the cops. I'm sorry. I'm a Fed boy. I'm a jackbooted thug. Ever since I got on YouTube, I've fucking said it. Yes, I'm one of those evil guys. Yeah.
Are you a bootlicker too?
No, I don't have to lick the boots. I wear the boots. Other people lick my boots.
Oh, good God.
So even something as simple as that, right? When people put that out, are you helping or are you hurting what is going on?
That's a great question.
I mean, it's not just that subject. There's other subjects,
It's all of it. Everything
when you
open your eyes, Steve, what are you doing to make things better?
Yeah, and most people aren't doing shit. They're sitting around complaining, And of course, I don't mean go take up arms and do stupidness. No, because we're not there yet. We're real close. There's some silly shit that right after Charlie Kirk got shot, I was like, oh, fuck. And I'll be honest with you. I can carry in California. I strapped up. And 2 days later, I said, no, I'm taking this off my fucking hip because we're not there yet. I don't want to be there yet. And I put it back up in my California approved storage device. I have to say that.
That was great. Good move. Yeah.
Thank you. Because we got to do other things. So, I mean, I do things I don't talk about on internet land, but I do my part in my circle, right? I say, hey, do this, hey, do that, do this, just, And that's what people need to do instead of sitting around just being bags of shit and pointing fingers at other people, Mm-hmm. If you ain't got money, well, what are you doing to get a job? It's not some dude overseas that's making it happen. It's not some dude in D.C. that's making it not happen. It's the fact that you're sitting there on your second case of beer that it's not happening. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. No, even these kids that are, the pro-Palestinian, pro-communist, Antifa, BLM fuckwads, right? They don't want to get off their ass and do anything. They just want to blame you and me and call us boomers, even though we're not boomers, and then say, we're just going to take your shit after we kill you, which is fucking communist crap. They don't want to do anything. They just want to get and have. And I think a lot of people on our side, they want to get and have freedom. They just don't want to pay for it with any action or effort. And, we're going to get to that point where everyone's hungry and they look around, they start eating each other. And I think we're getting that way socially. Yeah. Everyone wants to eat each other, and I'm hungry too, God damn it.
Yeah, and I mean the biggest thing you do, not you again in the bigger sense of you, is stop with the fucking division. So, okay, now you'll get this. Most people won't get this. I'm a California conservative. Do I see eye to eye with some guy in Kentucky who says he's a conservative? No, but there's a baseline that we all agree on, right?
Yeah. It's fundamental baseline, yes.
Yeah, and my fundamental baseline, it's called the Constitution, right? But now they're not going to want to hear that out of me because, oh, you're from California. You're this, you're that. You're a jackbooted thug, blah, 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 blah. So what does that do? That separates me and that person. Meanwhile, the socialist communist douchebags, they open an umbrella up and they take everybody in there. And then they got everybody working together, and we get to where we are now.
Except for homosexuals for Palestine. They tried coming and bringing that into the pro-Palestinian umbrella, and they're like, get the fuck out of here, faggots.
Yeah, but they'll use them while they can, right?
Yeah, when needed, all right?
Yeah. As soon as the useful idiots aren't needed anymore, they'll be like, hey, there's a wall. Take this paintbrush, turn away from me, and start painting that wall.
Yeah.
They just didn't mention they didn't bring any paint cans, and they're going to paint it with their blood. But, you know, just they're and you're from California, so you know what I'm dealing with.
Born and raised, man. Born and raised until I left for the fucking RMZ. I love California, but the fucking stupid is off the hook. And I have to do this. I have to put an end here at this point. I've got a former or prior Friday night pre-engagement that I need to go attend to. So we need to do this again, Steve. I'd like to have you back in a couple of weeks, or heaven forbid someone gets assassinated, and it's worth discussing at this other level that we've been entertaining. I find it fascinating to get your perspectives. Will you come back and do another show, or am I too big of a dick?
No. You're a dick. Dude, I'm an asshole. You're nice, okay?
Oh, well, that's one of my contributing factors. This and this beautiful smile. I make friends everywhere.
Well, it's also because you're from Northern California, and everybody from up there is a little sweet.
Oh. Oh, you can go fuck yourself. Anyways, that means I love you. To everyone who doesn't know. Okay, yeah. Anyways,
I get it.
I know you get it. I'm going to sign off here, Steve. Thank you again, brother. It was really entertaining, and again, we'll do it again. Keep our eyes out. You know how to get a hold of me through Uman, and we'll probably set up some sort of communication channel as well.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you.
Right, Semper Fi, man. Good talking to you.
Semper
Everyone
Fi.
else, I love you guys as well. Chance favors the prepared mind. You know the mantra. Bye-bye.